There you go. All right, so welcome everybody. In this training of eXp.World, most of you probably know it still as Frame VR. Yeah, I'm just gonna mute you guys. All right. So most of you know probably eXp.World as Frame VR. I'm gonna share my screen just in a second. What I like to do with this training is to take EXP agents through to the systems that EXP is developing themselves. I really believe that most of us, or at least myself, joined EXP a while ago because we are the most tech advanced agency in the world. And I think we should take a lot of pride in that. And on top of that, I think that by taking pride in that, we can build upon the systems that EXP is providing. I like to take it a little bit further. I like to also use other immersive experiences to add it into my business model so that we can, transfer and build a nice funnel from lead capturing to closing on properties in a new, new generation kind of marketing style, which has been proven to be very effective for myself. Especially because I use a lot I do a lot of deals with internationals, but besides that, we also save a lot of time while doing so, and I'll show you why that is. Yeah, I like really to focus a lot on on data to build my business, to test a couple of things out, do A/B testing, to see what works, what doesn't work. But to give you a bit of an idea, last year I sold about 20 properties in 2022, of which that 75% was international, and 25% of the sales that I did was to people that have never seen a property in real life. And some of them actually still haven't seen a property in real life. So it means that there is definitely a big shift coming from a location independency perspective, not only from internationals, but also through COVID, a lot of businesses that decided to give a bit more necessary freedom to work from home because of the regulations back then. But it did open up a lot of opportunities to work from home, and the tech that will that supports that kind of lifestyle or work style, let's call it rather. All right, so let me just quickly go into my metaverse, and I'm just going to share my screen here as well. Yep. There we go. So you can just let me know if you see my screen. All good, guys? All right. So I have to go back sometimes to access, and for the people to access the webinar. All right. So as I was mentioning, we have eXp.World, and eXp.World is actually rather new because we have been transferring the framevr.io to eXp.World. And to give you a little bit of a background story why that is that with FrameVR, it is quite limited. FrameVR is a program, it's a copy paste of what eXp.World is. And eXp.World is not the same as the eXp.World of Bella that we know. It is a different company. The company is called FrameVR. So there's two separate metaverses. FrameVR is the same as eXp.World as you can see here. However, FrameVR is basically what we are selling to other companies or other industries as well. So with eXp.World, what you will have is that you with FrameVR means that you can maximum have, I think it's 8 people at once in the metaverse, and you have the limitation where you can only have 3 different environments, as you can see this one here. Yeah. So this one is, for example, an office or a business suite, as I call it, where I basically meet a lot of my clients. So this is my personal kind of office that I set up. The whole business suite is basically what I set up for myself, but this is all what I, do for agent attraction. Yeah, I do that also. All my team members can have an office here. Everybody that has, involvement with myself, like Frame VR itself, or Currency Partners, which is a partner, a direct partner of mine and of my team members. Here you have, for example, iTour 360s, who is an affiliation with myself, and then Propcon and Gemstone, which is a bond originator, and so forth and so forth. So Frame VR only allows 8 people at once to be in the frame for the free version. It also allows you to only have 3 metaverses. As you can see here on the top, I have one for developments for EXP. I have one for my listing platform. I have one that I haven't really fully set up yet to join EXP as an agent attraction metaverse. So actually, I have already 4 metaverses. And with Frame VR, you will have to start paying $50 per month to get less limitations, or $100 a month if you want to have even less limitations than that. That is why, because Frame VR is a company under eXp.World Holdings, on which you basically also earn, also is bringing value to the shares of eXp.World Holdings, which you will have at that 5% that you bank into the shares on the Nasdaq. But eXp.World, as you can see here, doesn't have that. This is basically a bit of a moving away from eXp.World, which is a downloadable software, to go to an open source software so that you don't have to download that, and it's more accessible for clients, for partners, for anybody who is not involved in EXP to find you. You don't have the limitation of having only X amount of people all at once in this metaverse. You also don't have the limitation of having only 3 environments. So basically you can make as many as you like. And I believe this is very nice, because if you want to do training, and I believe over time we will do training here in this kind of environment as well, where you can, you can draw on the wall, you can click on it as well. You can open it up if someone's drawing on there. You have, sharing screens and all of that. Yeah. So I'll show you a couple of things here, and then we can take it from there. Yeah. Are there any questions at the moment? You guys have any questions regarding what Frame VR or eXp.World is? Gert, I see that you have a question.
Yes, thank you, Michiel. I would just like to find out. I've tried a few times with a person that we speak to each other on Frame, or well, in World, but my sound is not that good. Is that what normally creates that situation? I had it now. I tried it 3 times, so obviously one's a bit scared to use it. Yeah.
And are you sure it's not a hardware problem? Because I've never actually experienced that problem before.
Is it okay? They say that it's my voice that is actually breaking up. Now I do have quite I haven't got a problem. Normally don't have a problem.
Or a connection problem with the internet. It's also a possibility, yeah? Because don't forget that in metaverse, like this, is quite a lot of data, yeah. So it does, if you have, for example, load shedding in your area, and even though that you still have internet, the connectivity quality goes down quite significantly. So it might be that your quality of your sound also drops then a bit.
Okay, so I'll have to look at that. Yeah. Well, although I mean I'm using the same facilities as now, and we're able to talk actually. So
Yeah, that's
is
true.
there a higher requirement through the eXp.World? Maybe if we have too many things open at the same, I don't know. If we loaded too many assets on our eXp.World, will that affect it?
Yeah, that's definitely what can affect it. And to give you a bit of an idea here, here I have imported as an asset. So for people that don't know what an asset is, that's basically anything that you import from, from sound, visuals, linking through to your funnel or whatever. So this is a video that plays automatically, for which I can obviously change settings. I can change my settings here, like autoplay, loop, and all of that.
Hi, Michiel. Sorry to interrupt. There's some people waiting to be let in, apparently.
Sorry for that. Yeah, it's just a bit annoying that I do have I only have the rights to as a co-host. But this is the reason why I only do one video per frame, because I don't want to have five different videos that keep on playing in a loop, and then people, their data will be, will be burned very quickly. And it also takes a lot more data, so your environment will become slower and slower. So that is definitely something to take into account. That is why I have one video, and I restrict that a little bit to to add more videos in from uh, from from other people. So the video that I put in here is for agent attraction, which anybody can use. This is basically a social media advertisement that I shot, um, that I launched in Dubai, in Germany, to get more agents in. Was quite effective, but I wasn't really, following up too much on it. But definitely a very good way to also, build your team if you want to do that. And it has also been completely managed by Flow Living. Yeah, so I do send my content to them, and they manage it. I say what I want, I say who I want to target, and then we add and adjust along the way, and it works actually very well, as well for agent attraction, as well for attracting sellers. Yeah. All right. So if you have a look here, for example, if you have an office, and how can it be, of value for you as an agent? Well, uh, eXp.World, I use this to get meetings with sellers. I get this for meetings with buyers. I do some meetings here with business partners like Propcon, or like Flow Living, or like iTour 360, any, or currency partners. And that is why I give them value by giving them a space in the future, basically, because this is gonna be the future. If I look at my sales, and I have looking at my, even for example, my last deal, my client, a Canadian guy, he was here, but we couldn't get access into into the property because it was a long weekend and the tenant was not there, and then he had to leave, and there was all a little bit tight. So I managed basically on, it was not this property, but to get him over the line, to keep momentum by connecting, for example, a virtual tour to um, to his business, to add a virtual tour to the listing, and then basically he has a very good idea of how a property looks, and I'll take you through why I think this is an amazing way of doing business. And it's all under the mum of having a cyclic kind of next generation business model. Yeah. All right, we're still good. So this is, for example, a virtual tour that I shot with my own phone, by the way. So you can see the quality is actually very good. It's shooting in HDR, so it means that all the lightings of every surface is perfectly done. It shoots in overlight, underlight, and normal lights. It shoots in a via a rotator that I put my phone on there. Shoots. It connects with the app. The app gives you a 360 picture. Now all of a sudden the client can have a look up, down. He can even zoom in, looking at, oh yeah, look, there's nothing to be mentioning on the roof. There's no leaks there. So he can even zoom out to have a bit of more kind of overview of the property. He can travel through it. You can see here, for example, oh, it's a nice view, and you can travel through the whole property like that. Now, that is one thing that helped me a lot, not only from a sales perspective, but a lot on the reading out the serious buyers, and not having to waste my time to drive 20 minutes to a property, having to wait for someone usually, then show for half an hour, then drive 20 minutes back, and losing basically an hour to an hour and a half of your day. Well, this helps me to immediately filter out, hey, the client, he comes back to me right away saying, ah, yeah, I really love it. I want to see it right away. Or no, I don't want to see it. It's not really the flow what I want. He sees a couple of things that he couldn't see on the pictures or maybe on the videos. So he's like, oh, okay, no, I'm not want to, I don't want to go. So basically, you already saved quite a bit of time in your schedule. But besides that, what you can do is now that, and I show you that here on Flow Living, sorry, on EXP 360 Live there. So this is the platform where you upload the 360 pictures, and now what we can do is showing per property, if you like. We can, we can show per property, or we can show you per agent. So this is my own statistics, right? So I can show a seller who I sit with around a table, and he's not 100% convinced, or he want to see what I do. Then I show him this. I show him the 360 tour. I show him the metaverse, and I show him how much data that I capture for every single person that comes onto one of those 360 tours. I take this one here, I take this map, and I say, look, this is my expertise. You can see how scattered I am all over the world. I have a lot of clients in Africa and in Europe. And in Asia, there's also quite a few people that actually get in touch with me. Yeah. The cool thing about this is that if I want to, really go down deeper on the, on the statistics and the data, I can even filter and see like, okay, so let me only check the people that use their mobile. Yeah, then all these data will change, and then you can see that everything adapts. Yeah, so you can see, for example, here you can filter on all kind of data to understand better what your target market is as an agent. So you understand better what type of sellers that are attracted to you you know to work with. But it also helps you to show the seller that you are not lying about your footprint all over the world. Yeah. So if I, for example, use then the data and I see like, oh, okay, my clients are usually looking at this kind of 360 tour around 1 p.m. Well, between 1 and 4 is quite good. Between 10 and 11, well, 10 and 12 is quite good. 8 p.m. at night is wonderful. So if I would go to Flow Living and and if I would put my own advertisement, I would tell them, look, I want to run my advertisement for this specific property with this, of this listing. I want to put that around 8 o'clock at night, every day. Yeah. And then you will have higher chances, then you will reduce your marketing costs, you will reduce your price per lead, because this is the most efficient or effective time to show the property, because people have more time. If you would do it obviously in the morning very early, or very late at night from 9 p.m. onwards, or you do it when people just come home, it's not the best time to actually make a social media advertisement. And this is quite interesting, because now if I click here, for example, on 8 p.m., you can see that actually Tuesday is a better day. You see, actually Sunday is also quite a good day to do your social media advertisements, if you do it at 8 p.m. Yeah, so you can filter out like a lot on specifying what time, what parameters you want to set for your social media. Now, this is not only working for for feeding back into your social media. This also works a lot on getting mandates in. So if someone contacts me to sit around a table, and I show them that I never had a no of a seller to actually work together with me. I'm not saying that every time I'm getting a sold mandate, because that would be a lie. Uh, but especially for luxury properties, but it does help me a lot to to get a lot of confidence, because of the transparency that it gives. If I have this kind of content here, or all this data here, which is, you must have a look at it, because it really goes really into detail how far you can go. I can even zoom in on where my client's coming from on a um, oh, just click again here. There you go. On the scale, in from what city they're coming from, for example, I can really go down and zoom in detail where they are, so that's how far your privacy goes, when it comes to technology, which is kind of a scary thing, especially when we're starting with all the AI stuff. But for you as an independent real estate agent, this is data that will be yours. So you own that data. This is yours. So this is not of EXP because this is your system. You are paying for the platform, so you are the one who is, who owns the data. Yeah. And you can easily share this with the seller. So basically, this doesn't only help you to market and to pinpoint your ideal client, this is just the next level kind of reporting, because this is live data that changes itself every night. It updates. So every single day you can just go and send this to whoever you like. Yeah. So yeah, this is quite a phenomenal way of giving value to sellers, and that's what they want. They want full transparency. They want collaborative agents, and what I understand, and they want to have very much focus on the international aspect of real estate. And this is what I'm going to show you now as well, because the metaverse where we are at the moment here, what you see on your screen, is basically a hub where you can collaborate. So three items in my business are innovation, collaboration, transparency. And I believe these are the ultimate tools to actually fully focus on this. Um, Even people that are not in my team and people that are here, and there's some people here that sit with me in the training every single week, of which I'm very grateful for, by the way. Thank you for that. um, you guys, I'm fully 100% fine if you don't want to go through the whole process of setting this whole metaverse up. Just chat to me, come in my space, I'll give you an office, you can put it there yourself, and it's very easy to set things up. Yeah. I've done last week. I've done a training on this as well with people. So I basically, what I did last week was a bit of a workshop where a few people want to get there, but they don't 100%, haven't been able to do it, or they are stuck at specific points. And then I take over and we do it together. They do it and I take them through, and basically can now set things up in their metaverse. Yeah. There are basically no limitations, and I'll show you, for example, this one. If we look at what we have been doing, in when the internet started, there was a whole rush with what URL am I gonna take, and what is value, and some of the URLs are being sold for a lot of money. Um, so basically, a good URL can be a lot of value. Yeah. So this is why I took this one here, and I can create a eXp.World/developments, in the hope that at a certain point in time, when this immersive kind of experience from a sales perspective becomes more and more prominent in the market, which it definitely will, and I think it will be here sooner than you think, especially with the developments of blockchain, developments of metaverses in general, developments of location independency, but also from a crypto and all of that kind of perspective, which is a completely different thing. But all that movement will become a lot more important. Technology also is there to basically make you travel through space and time in a more efficient way. So even though it can be a bit intimidating, this is basically there to make your life easier, to save time, to monetize on what you're already doing and scale your business. And that's where a lot of people like ourselves as real estate agents, especially independent real estate agents, are struggling with. That is, how do I scale my business from A to B to C to Z to the sky is the limit? And this is one way to go about it, because this will be also the framework where we can now work together as a referral system over time. And I believe that this is going to be quite amazing, that this could be a platform with where developers, and there's already quite a bit of developers like Blackbrick, Ubuntu developments, there's FWJK here, um, you have Master Prop. So there's quite a bit of developers that very much are intrigued into this kind of space, and want to work together with me because of that. Um, Obviously, developers are a bit of the pinnacle in the real estate industry because they are doing the most due diligence. They know the best where we are going to be at in 10 years or 20 years in the market, or at least have the best idea where we would be. So those people are the perfect people to contact. So you bring those people into a metaverse where you bring in your clients from anywhere in the world, and you give them a space here, and you will be putting yourself forward as a game changer. So let us change the game together and secure a bigger market share of the future. And that is exactly what it is. It's a bigger market share of the future, because that is how you scale your business, is by seeing an opportunity where people are seeing a problem or seeing where the real estate industry might go down. Well, we are seeing a high interest rate at the moment for location affordability is basically the lowest ever been. If well, as long as I've been an agent here in South Africa. So what else to do? Well, let's look at international sales. Before COVID, international sales was not as lucrative as it is now. We changed from, I believe it was about 2% of the sales in South Africa has been international before COVID. The year after COVID, it was 3%. I believe if you look at certain areas like Cape Town, that will be a lot higher, because obviously we are here a bit more in an international bubble than anywhere else in South Africa. Yeah. Mention worthy as well as that Frame VR is something that you can also sell, because this is a technology of eXp.World, of eXp.World Holding, sorry. So you can make 40% um, of the revenue that Frame VR is making. So basically, if you get a client signing up for $50 a month or $100, let's call it $100 a month, you get $40 per month every single month, as long as they are a client, which is basically 350. Sorry, what did I say? $40. Yeah, that's about 700. Is it? Yeah, about 700 or 750 rand even, depending on the exchange rate, which is quite nice on a monthly basis to get this extra as well. Yeah. Any questions so far? No questions? All right. Then let me have a look.
Yes,
Yes, to me.
yes, starting a bit late.
No problem.
Yes, Michael, I just want to ask a question. When you were looking at the data that you can analyze of people looking at your ad that you're having of a house there, and you can tell what time they're looking at that particular ad. Are we now analyzing data of people that are in the world, or is this data of people that are on social media? Is that only people that are in the world?
No, that is of the people coming onto a 360 tour. Yeah. So here, for example, I have a 360 tour here.
Okay.
So basically, anybody click. So you can see here virtual tour. Let me just show you here. I advertise a virtual tour as as a picture, and I'll show you how we can import assets and so just in a bit. But if you advertise a picture as a listing, I like to say virtual tour, click on the image, because people would not understand that you can click on the assets that you bring in. So once you bring it in, you see a virtual tour. This virtual tour is also listed on my EXP website, is also listed on my PropCon. On Property 24, it's not listed, but I leverage this by saying contact me for a virtual tour, because I want to motivate people to contact me, and to get leads in, because the more leads you get in, the more contact details you have for your CRM system, for your email marketing, or for whatever you might want to do from a marketing perspective. But all the data is only captured if you come on this page of any kind of virtual tour. So the data capturing is part of iTour 360. Yeah. And
Okay. Thanks a
iTour
lot.
360 is basically shot with your own phone. It costs you for the device. It costs you 4,000 rand, and then you pay a monthly fee. And then per tour you pay about 370. Well, no, 600 rand per tour. You pay for that to stitch together the pictures. But for that, you get obviously all the data, you get all the systems, and for me personally, and I'm not speaking for anybody else, but for me personally, this gave me so much collaborative opportunities from whether other agents, whether from sellers, because I obviously use this as well for my social media advertisement to attract sellers that I'm, tech driven, that I'm international, that I use 360 tours, that I use the data, that I feed that back into social media marketing. And, every cycle that this marketing strategy has completed, you have pinpointed more and more and more specifically on who your ideal client would be by decreasing your cost per lead, but also to understand what this property what kind of people are looking for this specific property. And over time, if you're in for 1 year or 2 years, or you are 10 years or 15 years in the industry, you will really become an expert of really understanding that that type of property is for that type of buyer. And that is to me something that is so valuable, and and is definitely worthwhile, this this cost of doing it. Yeah, is that
Thank
clear
you.
to me?
Very clear, thanks.
All right. Look, if you are doing social media with Flow Living, Flow Living is organizing, is capturing their own data as well. And on Flow Living also creates a listing. And on Flow Living, I also have my 360 tours. Yeah. So um, the if Flow Living is doing the social media and they're capturing the data, then they are using that data because that's also what they're doing. But if people land on a funnel or on a landing page which is of Flow Living, a listing of on the platform of Flow Living, and you have your 360 tour, then basically you're capturing the same data. The social media statistics or data capturing is basically very much inflated. It's not real data. And the reason for that is once you scroll on your phone and you see your social media advertisement just coming on the bottom half there, it's counted as a view or an impression where people actually might not even have been looking at it. Then that is a difference with the virtual tour. The data that I show are actual people that literally went through the tour, and I can see where they were in the tour, how long they were in the tour, where they're coming from, what time, what device, what days are the best. So you get so much more data that you will get from any other marketing agency. So basically, you become your own marketing agency. All right, so let me show you basically my listing metaverse, and I'm going to show you a couple of things how easy it is to to add in a listing. And I actually have to delete one, and also have to add one. So let me just show you. So this is my listing metaverse, and the cool thing about that is that if I do an open house, instead of cloning myself 10 times on a Sunday between 2 and 4, and sit there and wait in the hope that some people come through, and then there's some people coming through, whether they break stuff, whether they are just curious neighbors, or whether they just some people like myself back in the day before I was an agent, I must admit. I like to view properties even though I couldn't afford it, and waste the agent's time. How do I protect myself from that? Is I do a social media advertisement about a virtual open house. I put a couple of pictures of there of similar properties, and I say I will be available between 2 and 4. And what's happening now is that people on that social media advertisement click on it, which is a link to my metaverse. They come in my metaverse, and I will be waiting here. And if you want to see who I am, this is me. So that's it's my avatar. So that's what they will be seeing, and you can wait. And every single time someone comes into your metaverse, you will be able, you will to set a setting where basically it sends you an SMS or it sends you an email from the moment you get someone into your metaverse. So it's trackable. But now you have that client, and the client is interested, and he might be interested, for example, for a Tamboerskloof property like this one, and you can show it to him into this 360 tour. and you can go over it together, but you can also do a virtual tour or a guided session as a host, where you basically dial in and have a WhatsApp call, just the same way as I would, for example, here put my webcam on, and that's me there, not with the background. It's my little office here. Um, so this is a way how you can connect with your clients and show them several properties. And I have here probably 16 or more properties in this space. And this property might not be maybe for him, but maybe there's another property, or in Higgovale, there's another property in Higgovale that I can show him that is maybe more suitable for him or more in his budget. And then you can show it the same thing. That you can also just go and show him some stuff right where you are here. You don't have to drive, you don't have to make a new appointment, you don't have to go through the whole hassle. You exactly know what he likes, if he likes one of your properties, and then you can actually make an appointment, or you can even close from here. What I also did is making a link accessible to in my business suite, um, which links to my Google Drive with all my mandates, with all my OTP. So it's just a matter of them going on the click on the link, download it or print it right away, and then they can fill it out with wet ink and then upload it and send it back to me on WhatsApp. And then basically we have a done deal. And it could be, and I've done, my last sale was like that, where I signed off an OTP with a guy not seeing the property, but he was here, he couldn't get access. So what I did was, okay, let's sign the OTP. The seller was super happy that we already got an OTP after not even bringing one person through the door, and actually having only one lead, and that was that guy. And then I put in the subject in the special conditions, subject to viewing. So that means now a few days later we were able to get access. He likes it, and he basically just sends me from his phone, when I'm standing next to him, an email to me saying, I'm happy with the state of the property, let's go. And that little email is basically equals to a done deal. So I send everything to the conveyancer, and and the deal goes through. Remember that you can monetize as well via other ways of your deals, and that's why I add value for partners like currency partners and bond originators, where you can basically actually make more than 100% of your commission, because you also make money on that way, on the way of bringing money from overseas and so forth. Yeah. So there's a lot of ways how you can create basically a place where it's much more valuable than a real office, because in a real office you still can't show them the property if it's not via a picture or a video, which doesn't allow people to choose where they want to look. And that's a big game changer. All right, let me just if there's any questions, you can ask them now. No? All right. So, for example, this is a property we had listed in Nottingham Road, which is KwaZulu-Natal, near to St. Pietersmaritzburg. This one is now of the market. So, how do I change this? Yeah, I will just. So, if you're not into edit mode, you basically click on it and then you go to a link. But you want to be in edit mode. So this is just a matter of clicking on the pencil here. You click on the picture and you can say you can delete it, but you can also just replace the asset. So I want to replace the asset because it's going to save me a lot more time, instead of deleting it and then putting back a picture and then adjusting it. For the sake of the training, I will just delete it, but you can just use this tab. Yeah, but I will just delete it so that you have a better understanding of how I do things. So here I want to add an asset, and an asset means any kind of thing that you see of text or of image or video, 3 shapes or 3D models or poles or whatever it might be. You have so much options that I haven't even touched based on, which I'm going to run out of time a little bit for, but there's a lot of things that I can still show you. Yeah. So I want to add an image. So it's gonna pop up here. I'm gonna browse. So I'm going to properties, to hot bay, and I want to put this picture in here. Yeah, this is a listing I have shared with, well, that Graham shared with me. It's a very beautiful property in Hot Bay. So now it's adding on. So now you can see it's in this space, but obviously if you move around the space, you can see that it's actually not on the wall. You know, it's just floating in there. So what you do is you click on that asset and you have a menu popping up on the left hand side. So you have a lot of things that you can do. The easiest way is to snap it to the surface. You click on the surface where you want to put it on, and then now you can scale it because now it is actually where you want it to be. It's not floating around. It's now literally stuck onto the and now it's literally stuck onto the surface. Yeah. And then you can play with the vectors a bit to bring it up and down or whatever, wherever you want to be, a bit more left. You can even rotate it if you like it. From the moment these vectors turn yellow, that's the one that you will be using. Yeah. So that's that. Now I'm happy with the position, so I want to lock the position so we can't edit it anymore. You can make it zoomable. That means if you're out of edit mode, you can click on it and you can zoom in. Yeah. Now for me, that's less important. What is important for me is that I add a link because we want to create a funnel. Yeah. And I'm just gonna take my PropCon link. And the reason why I take my PropCon link is because one, I'm building a website via PropCon as well that is linked to my CRM, but also because I think it's the nicest integration, and there's a lot more listings in here that are not my own, but that I can work upon. Yeah, that's why I like to use PropCon. I'm just opening it in this tab, and I'm gonna copy the link. Simple as that. Just copy the link, and you go back to your metaverse. You add a link. You set a web link. Copy paste. Yeah, and you set the web link there. Yeah. Now you have, for example, if you're out of edit mode and you click on it, now it opens up to your, there we go, to your listing. There you go. Oh, now I have to go back here. So now we have added, it's this one here. Yeah, so this is what we added. So this is basically a listing on PropCon, and here we see the full integration of the virtual tour, where you also can just walk around and you don't have to go, click on anything. This is a full integration, which I really love, and that's why I use PropCon as well. So even though this, is integrated like that or embedded like that, we call that, even though it's like this, we still captured the data of the people looking onto this kind of virtual tour. Yeah. Now, what I want to do, and actually, I'm just going to visit that just to have the, oh, sorry. Oh, there. So I can also share it from here to any social media platform. And if you follow me on social media, you see that every second day of my listing, after I posted the listing and the video, I post then this as well. And it's very handy to to create more content on social media and to create more engagement as well on your social media from an organic perspective. So again, I want to make sure that this listing actually is there. So I'm just gonna copy this one here again because I'm just gonna copy that one because what I do now is again the same thing is here listing, click here. That is the listing of the previous property that was in Nottingham Road. So I copy that, paste it. Yeah, and I save it, and now it will be the right one to show, but you have to go out of edit mode. Yeah, I always like to double check so that there's no mistakes. Okay, it's the right one. That's great. Virtual tour, click image. So that's actually what I wanted to do just now as well. So I just copy that one, and I will go to edit mode. Instead of using the link or the listing, I prefer to use the virtual tour because that allows me to capture the data. Yeah. Oh, did I copy it here? Oops. Anyway. And then it's the same thing here. You can click on this asset, and if I have to turn around a little bit, this is not correct anymore. So this is now hot bay, and you will see. Oh, shit, that's not the right one. Let me just click on that. Sorry, I just have to scroll down. This is here. You have to call it hot bay, but you have to update the text. Yeah. If you don't update the text and you move forward, you have to redo it anyway. Yeah. And then this one, for example, we can call it Scott Estate, which is definitely adding value to the listing because it's quite a renowned area in Hot Bay. So now we have the listing and we have the virtual tour there, and everything is set now. Yeah. So it is as simple as that. If you say, okay, but the picture is not the same lined out as the other one, then you obviously can change that by unlocking the position again to show the vectors. And now basically you can just, make it a little bit larger so it lines up a little bit nicer. You can make it a little bit more down. I can lock the position again, and the same thing for this one, just to line it up a little bit nicer, that it's a little bit more centered, and I lock it up. And that's actually how fast you can, you make everything work. Yeah. Yeah, and this is basically how you set things up um, from a listing perspective. Yeah. And I can hear you talk already, like, oh, okay, this seems like a lot of work and this and that, but actually, it's very quick to set up. And I'm just gonna show you how to do it. So if you are interested in how, in what I've been showing you now, then you can just go to eXp.World, and I'll put that here in the text box. Um, I'll just put the link here, and you will arrive at, if you just go there, eXp.World, you will arrive at eXp.World/welcome. And if I can actually show it to you, but I have to use another browser here, otherwise I'll log in myself. And I think that you will be able to see this screen as well. So you see that I put in eXp.World, but automatically I come here at welcome. Yeah. This is the landing page or the funnel that eXp created for you to be able to easily, set your Frame VR or your eXp.World up. Yeah. Obviously, you have a lot of things open, so it takes a little bit longer than normal. I just close a few things here. All right. Oh, there. There we go. So now I am a guest, and you can see here, this is what eXp created. Yeah, so eXp, this is a metaverse where you can find some, some details, but it is as easy. Yeah, so this is just an update that is in a new version of it. I'm not going to do that, otherwise I have to restart to log in. But it is as easy to just sign in with eXp. On the right hand side, you find these three stripes here. Just sign in with eXp. You click on that and you fill in your eXp email address. I'm not gonna do it because I'm now on another browser of my other company. Um, so if you fill in your details of expsouthafrica.co.za, then you will be able to get access. Because remember, eXp.World is only for people that are affiliated with eXp. Everybody outside of eXp, they're using FrameVR.io. Yeah. Once you're in the space and you logged in, you will be able to, well, it will pop up all like 10 steps of how to navigate, how to, how to use the space, how to put your settings, how to create your avatar. It's very straightforward. And I can just show it to you, because all the things that you need to know is basically centralized, and well, if I'm out of edit mode here, okay. Ah, you click on this one here, and here you have all your kind of things that you need to know from a generic kind of way. So you see here michiel.devogeleer eXp South Africa. That's perfect. So I've been logged in. I can here click create a frame. I name my frame, join me. I can choose an environment, and you have so many different environments. You have a cloister, floating hall, auditoria, operette, convention centers, Zen offices, expo centers. Because you can see already this has not only been built for EXP or for real estate, a campus. They are visionaries, so they are looking at what could it mean for for the educational industry, for universities, for this and that, and you know it has so much more potential than what we are doing here, because we are actually quite small scale as independent real estate agents, but big properties. You have even there's a big one at Telecom Center, for example. You have here in Ireland, galleries. The Telecom Center is quite interesting because that's the companies where I believe we're gonna probably see this more and more often, that people are becoming location independent, work from home in this kind of environment. You can click on that, and then you create a frame, and then it's gonna create a frame, eXp.World / join me. Yeah, simple as that. And then you can start building. Uh, if you want to, use the same frame that you already have, you can just click on clone this frame. All your assets will be imported as your other one if you have a very similar frame. And on the floor, you see all these blue lines like you saw in my business suite. That means that from the moment you cross that and it turns green, yeah, then basically you can see the green line here, but it's a little bit. Wait, I'll just look down. You see that it turns green? It means that now everything that is set outside of the green line I won't hear, but nobody will hear what I'm saying inside of the green line. So you have private conversations that you have. You can put spawn spots on any place where you want, that will create a specific URL where you can just use that, and that you will land specifically in that place, in that metaverse. If you want to create your avatar, you just simply click on profile, customize avatar, and now you will be able to set everything up like you want. If you want to use AI, there's chat functions, and I'm just going over a couple of things because we're running a bit out of time, but this is all what I can show you in the next training as well. So you can see here that now you can talk in the zone specifically, or you can just have a general conversation. You can speak privately with someone who is in this frame, or you can even chat to Luna and ask a question. Hi Luna, how are you? But it's not really a relevant question, but AI is just going to answer. Hello, I'm AI, so don't have feelings, but I'm here and ready to assist you. How can I help you today? So, so there's a lot of kind of things that are still in the development phase. And this is really what I like, because since I started with using Frame about a year or a year and, well, in March 2022, this space has been improving a lot. And yeah, it's really phenomenal. Are there any questions from your side? I'm just looking here in the Luyanda All Things Property. What app do you use for the 360-degree images and videos? Well, what I will do is, I did get, we did actually do a webinar together, Aitor and myself. I will put the link here, and then you can just copy the link and save that. Have a look at that. And if you want to have a workflow on how quickly I do things, it's called training one there. Yeah, this one here. Also do that. So there's two different links, right? The first link is a 36-minute video about how I structure my business as a business model or a marketing model. And there's also quite a lot of questions in that which are very relevant. So in total, it's a little bit over an hour. The other one is a 15-minute video on literally my workflow from shooting it to uploading it, and link it to all the platforms, and link it on Metaverse, and link it on PropCon, and link it on on EXP and all of those platforms. And that's literally in 15 minutes that I set everything up for one listing. So that's very quickly. Vian, thank you so much. I do agree. You just have to start. Don't feel too intimidated. It's really there to make your life easy, and to actually make your business monetize it a lot more. For me, it really helped a lot. If I haven't had this, I probably had half of the business that I have, and not only from a sales perspective, but also from getting listings in. All right. Any other questions?